We'll take a look at the 1970 Olds Cutlass convertible. Give you a close-up of the problem areas. The plastic grill inserts, of course, are all cracked up and should be replaced. Bumper's fairly straight. It does look like it's bent up a little bit in the middle. This fender's in pretty good shape, other than some scrapes here and there. Minor bubble there. Rockers are actually in nice shape on it. Fender had some old body work, or quarter panel I mean. You can see a little bit of some bubbles in the old body work along the lip. And of course I believe there's Bondo all in the back of the lower quarter. There's some bubbling here in the Bondo. It needs to be reworked. It's fairly straight. Somebody who does body work, it's not too big of a project. Back bumper's in decent shape. Could use to be re-chromed. Of course you can see some bubbles along the trunk lid. Small pinhole. Some bubbles along here. Some paint flaking up on the top of the quarter panel. Bubbles in the paint. This quarter panel, the same thing. I believe it has some Bondo in the bottom here. Don't know if you can see it. There's some bubbles here at the very bottom. Not too much on this lip of the quarter. A few bubbles. Some light bubbling here in front of the rear wheel. This rocker panel also is in pretty good shape. I believe there's no bolt in the bottom of that fender. I'm pretty sure that fender was replaced. As you can see, they didn't really bolt it up very good. So that fender's a little bit loose at the bottom. The convertible top is only a few years old. It's in good shape. The fabric's in good shape. The motor for the top was replaced. The frame for the top has been replaced. So all the gears and framework for the top is in good condition. The back window has a glass window installed. As you can see, I have the back quarter windows out. Actually, they were broke when I got the car. I do have the panels to cover this section in here, and I have glass to go with it that I purchased. So I have both of the quarter windows and the panels. Seats are in decent condition. Nothing's really torn. Door panels are okay. Other than the bottom of this door panel, you can see the fabric worn on it, but panel and the wood grain inserts are in pretty good condition. There's no cracks in the dash pad. Console's in decent shape. I mean, it's used. It's a no-show car, but it's a decent driver. Wheels and tires were replaced. It's the original mag-type wheels. Tires are in good shape. If you look underneath the car, which we can't really do now, there is one hole. You can't see it from inside. The carpets are actually in decent condition. We'll try to go underneath. And yeah, it's too dark. We can't get a look at it, but there is about a 6-inch hole in the floor, which is pretty much right under the brake pedal. It's solid from inside because they have new padding under the carpet. So it's not like your foot's going to go through the carpet or anything. We'll take a look inside the trunk. As you can see, the trunk pan isn't terrible. It has some surface rust. You can still see a lot of the original paint on it. It's a solid pan. The only spot is a section here, and it's about the size of my hand, where there's some rust through, right near one of the drain plugs. The rest of the pan is pretty solid. Like I said, it has some surface rust, but that's the only spot I really see any rust through. So there's that one hole right there. I'd say it's about 7-8 inches long, about 2 inches wide. It's an easy patch. Certainly don't need a whole pan. If you're restoring the car, well, you might want to put a whole pan or just patch it. Trunk lines up pretty well. You can see the back of the car. It lines up pretty good. We'll lean in and start it up. The engine was replaced, so it's not the original engine. It was replaced some time ago with a GM 350. It's a bit newer of an engine. Let's set this down. So it does have a electronic distributor, which is why the car fires up pretty quickly. Usually don't have to touch the gas. The engine's pretty quiet. Exhaust is tight. No leaks. It don't overheat. The radiator's tight. The car does not have air conditioning hooked up, although there is an AC core here in front of the radiator. Power drum brakes. Battery's pretty new. It's a 2-barrel carb. It runs pretty smooth. Another look at the front end. Like I said, that's pretty much where you need some replacement parts. The grills and the bumper. Headlight buckets are in pretty good shape. Somebody painted it a nice ugly purple. The original color is this dark green that's inside this one panel. And like I said, I do have these panels for this. The top goes up and down fine. Power off the switch on the dash. So that does work fine. And all 4 of the tires and rims, trim rings, all that is there. The old exhaust sounds pretty good. No smoke whatsoever coming out either side. Exhaust is pretty solid. No problems with the gas tank. Mufflers are in good shape. Frame rails are all solid. There's no rust holes in the frame rail. It's just typical surface scale. And there you have a good look at our 70 Cutlass convertible.